of talk in the news about men and some of the things they do to women. And I've been giving this a lot of thought, and I was like, damn, that Matt Lauer guy is a clever guy. I mean, he just has a switch on his door, and he makes $30 million a year, and his job's available. And I think for $30 million, I could just be just like Matt Lauer and lock people in rooms and seduce them. So I'm available for work. I work as a sample girl, which most of you know. And the other day I was handing out plugs. I wasn't handing out the fragrance, mind you. I was just handing out the plug. And then the customer had to buy the oil, and the oil was like $4 or $5. And I was doing pretty good at this. I was just like throwing plugs at whoever went by. And then I got to work, and the lady was like, because at my other job, and she was like, well, you didn't give me any oil. And I'm like, well, I'll buy you some oil for Christmas. And then while I was handing out this oil, this man came up to me, and he's like, and he throws it back in my face, and he's like, I don't like fragrances. I don't like those artificial scents. And I was like, dude, I'm just trying to sell you a fragrance. If you don't like it, just put it back on the table. That's fine. And he's like, you know, I'm an international traveler. And I have tons of money. This guy didn't look like he had any money, but anyway. And then he continues, and he's like, oh, well, the only scent that I like is the scent of a beautiful woman. Gets worse. And then he was like, why don't you come back with me to my hotel across the street? He points to the hotel across the street from Walmart. Today my boss came up to me at the factory, and he said, you got a free lunch. And I was like, awesome, a free lunch for my good attendance. And I'm like, because I've been working my ass off for you, and all I get is a $2 lunch. But anyway, lunch was free Polish dogs. And I'm like, oh, I bet there's going to be some jokes in this. So I was like, because I work mostly with men. And I was like, okay, I'm through the line. Everything's good. I got my Polish dog. I put some sauerkraut on it. And then some guy comes up to me, and he's like, oh, that's a lot smaller than mine. Work, right? All right, so I'm going to end it on a couple things here. This guy, another harassment thing. Okay, this guy comes up to me, and he's like, oh, you're getting fatter every day. And I'm like, what? He's like, you're getting fatter every day. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I gotta not wear this sweater anymore. Okay. So we do a lot of talk while we're bored on the factory line. And we were talking about dying. And this lady's like, well, I'm going to live to a ripe old age. And I said, yeah. Well, that's great. But then I was trying to figure out. Then I told her I'd rather die kind of young, not too old. And she was like, why not? Because, like, I said I'd still be wet, and you'll be dry. All right, that's all I have. Good night.